It's the Phoenix, Arizona weather discussion. This is for Tuesday, the 20th of February. I'm Michael Groff. Another dry and warm day ahead, but with increasing clouds across the area. By tomorrow, there is a weakening weather system that will bring a small chance of showers in here, along with breezy conditions and cooler temperatures. But then we'll warm it right back up for the weekend. Temperatures going above normal once more. Maybe a change in the weather pattern for next week. Of course, there's a lot of uncertainty involving all of that. So we'll talk about it and everything else as we dive on in. First, let's take a look at that almanac from yesterday. 80 degrees was the afternoon high, 54 the morning low, 71 and 50 are the averages for this time of year. And as we take a peek outside right now here at 11:23 a.m., we've got mostly sunny sky, sitting at 72 degrees at Sky Harbor, dew point 34, humidity 25%. It's a light wind, and the barometer is steady. The upper-level weather pattern across the nation shows high pressures in control over the southern tier of the United States, particularly from Texas westward into the southwestern states, a southwesterly flow aloft. We do have some high clouds around, but for the most part, things are dry. Now, off to the west, look at that area of low pressure. That's bringing rain and mountain snow to California and the Great Basin. And as that moves east, it's going to run into that ridge. It's going to weaken pretty quickly. But enough moisture may sneak on in here for a couple of showers tomorrow. The watch warning map, obviously with that system, we've got flood watches, valley rains, mountain snows. So for the coastal sections of California, the valleys, the flood watch is in effect, and of course winter storm warnings in the higher elevations. Here's the convective outlook for today. We don't anticipate any organized severe weather. Could be a rumble of thunder that sneaks into northwest Arizona later today and tonight as that system begins to move eastward and the moisture comes on in. And here's the precipitation outlook. This is valid through Tuesday morning of next week. Rain amounts in Phoenix, not much, generally at or under 1/10 of an inch. A little bit more than that just to the north and east of us, of course, across northern Arizona and up into parts of southern Nevada. We could see some more appreciable rain amounts. And we'll talk about what's going on with this weather pattern. It's kind of an interesting setup. We'll dive into it right now as we take a look at the models, see what the future may hold. Here we go. This is the GFS. It's the 12Z run. This is valid at 5 o'clock this afternoon. Ridging off to the east, there's that area of low pressure off to the west of us, weakening as it runs into that brick wall of a ridge. And what it means for us down at the surface for today, we'll see an increase in clouds. High temperatures pretty close to 80 for this afternoon. And that's obviously above average. And then for tonight, partly cloudy sky. Overnight lows will be mostly in the 50s for us. And then tomorrow, partly sunny, breezy, cooler. There's a small chance of a shower. This system, as mentioned, off to the west, it just opens up into a wave and it starts to weaken. It kind of skirts to the north too. Most of the moisture and dynamic support will be found north of us. But yeah, we could still see an isolated shower here in Phoenix. But even if that happens, as mentioned, the rain would be light. It would be very isolated in nature, so probably nothing really to worry about. The one big difference for tomorrow will be the cooler temperatures. Highs anywhere from about 66 to 70, 71, something like that. So we will be around 10 degrees cooler tomorrow as compared to today. Now that system's going to quickly move on out, and by Thursday, highs upper 60s, low 70s. The sky returns to mostly sunny. And then as we head into Friday and moving forward, we'll see another area of low pressure developing off the west coast, but we're going to stay dry. High temperatures will warm it back up, though. We'll be well back up in the 70s for Friday. And over the weekend, plenty of high clouds around, mostly cloudy, I'd say, for Saturday and Sunday, with high temperatures each day, anywhere from the mid-70s to about 80 degrees. And again, you can see some rain coming once again into California, but that's going to hold to the west for a while. Now, by Monday, we see this short wave coming on in, a broader trough to the north that's going to help to push this system through. But it really doesn't look like we're going to see this big meridional flow, this really high amplitude pattern, this very deep pattern. It's going to be more of a progressive setup that might develop. Now, of course, there's still a lot of question marks as to how things play out as we go into next week. But if we take this run of the GFS at face value, it would indicate some chance of rain in here. We've got about a 30% chance going for Monday. And it would be cooler, high temperatures closer to 70 once again. But significant precipitation would not be likely in this kind of a setup. We'd, again, generally for us be talking about less than 1/10 of an inch. Now, obviously this can change, and there are still some of our models in the various ensemble suites that indicate a more robust rain event here, but I if you're reading the tea leaves, you're seeing the writing on the wall with the trends on the models, especially the deterministic models. Sure looks like things are looking a little bit drier, more of a progressive setup for us, and the deeper moisture and the better dynamics staying to the north of us. Unfortunately, it's just been that kind of a winter. People asking, well, what about El Nino, Mike? What's going on? I mean, we are in an El Nino pattern, but as we discussed back in August and September and October, this would not be a traditional El Nino, as water temperatures across the Pacific and the Atlantic, actually in general around the globe, we saw a number of areas with anomalously high sea surface temperatures, and that would have an impact on El Nino. We didn't know exactly what that impact would be, but certainly as I discussed here, that I felt that it could lead to a somewhat less robust El Nino. And we've had our moments, haven't we? We've certainly seen some big storm systems, but most of that has stayed to the west of us. Big rains for California, snow for the Sierra. Flagstaff has certainly had some really good snow this month, over 45 inches of snow. But, for us, above average rainfall has taken place so far this year, but it's really all come from just a few days worth of precipitation for the most part. And unfortunately, as we go out to a week from today, this is Tuesday, the 27th, that system moves on out, and it doesn't look like we're going to see any large-scale troughing out here in the southwestern states. We don't see any real signs of a prolonged unsettled weather event. In fact, if this is right, temperatures would start to rebound a bit, and then going out 10 days. This is Thursday, the 29th, Leap Day. And if this is right, high pressure is in control over much of the central and western part of the United States, and that would mean dry and warmer conditions. Temperatures, again, going back to above normal levels. Pretty significant trough out there in the Northeast Pacific, but that's going to stay away from us. And with that kind of a ridge out there, there's little chance that a system like that is going to get in here. But again, this is 10 days out. Things can always change. And as we look at rainfall for Phoenix, this is off of the GFS ensemble. This is going out through the 5th of March. And you can see that the ensemble mean continues to hover around 1/2 inch, and we've got some individual members a little higher than that, but you can see this for tomorrow. Very few members indicate any measurable rain. European ensemble, very similar. There's a notable spread here among the ensemble guidance, and there's plenty of these members that indicate we'll see some rain early next week, but I just don't know if we're going to see anything all that meaningful for a while. And then temperatures off the national blend of models, we're staying above average, well up in the 80s. Yeah, a bit cooler tomorrow, but then well up in the 80s as we head into the weekend. This has low 80s for us, and then a little bit cooler next week. But overall, this looks like temperatures staying above average for the rest of February and as we move into March and the start of meteorological spring. All right, that's going to do it for the Phoenix, Arizona weather discussion for today. My next video is due back here tomorrow morning. Should you happen to enjoy these videos, then be sure to subscribe, like, share, click that notification bell. Leave those comments, questions, and suggestions. And if you really like what we do here, you want to support us monetarily, you can click that little thanks icon below the video. Make those monetary contributions to us, $2, $5, $500. It all helps in the furtherance of this channel. And it might inspire me to do a rain dance or a rain song or something to bring us some precipitation. I'm not saying that if you donate, that's going to happen, but, maybe read between the lines. It just might. I could be inspired. All right. The executive producer of the Phoenix, Arizona weather discussion is my one and only, the sweetest of all time, the Asian sensation, and the proprietor of sweetchildaz.com.org and the Facebook page of the same name, Sweet Child Arizona, talking about my Michelle, so check her out. All right. Also, I want you to check out her travel videos, Michelle's travel videos. They're all linked up down in the description. And our streaming station, it is called KMGX, whereupon we play a ton of music. We have a lot of fun with that. And that's linked up down below as well. Thank you guys so much for watching. All of your continued support, so greatly appreciated. Please be safe out there and have yourselves an absolutely gorgeous rest of your Tuesday. It is Tuesday, right?